I turn on SOS emergency SOS
No, we've already done it.
on my phone?
No.
The lands of the Americas. Their past, always so fascinating to me. If only we could go back, unlocking the mysteries of the people before us. While we could never hope to go back in time, we can certainly see the sights left behind. Starting in North America, within the borders of the United States. My journey would begin in South Carolina back in 2022, where I went on a mission to explore some of the lost past of the state. This mission would take me to an ancient mound site of the Santee people. So about 2 minutes away from Santee Indian Mound. It's a Native American site. We're not far from it now. This is, I don't know what this is. If it's a river or a lake or the ocean, I don't know. But it's gorgeous out here. The Santee people would have been all around here. This is the first of our series, Ancient America. Because a lot of these sites date back to a long while ago. And not too many people know about America before the revolutionary colonial times. So hopefully we can learn some new things and explore some cool places. Let's go. So these mound sites, I'm learning, a lot of them started off as burial sites. They would continue to add on soil, to my understanding. And on the top of them, they would place a temple, a sacred ground, usually made of like thatch roofing. I assume some sort of mud material for the walls, but I can't be sure of that. We're approaching it now. It's a lot higher up in person than you'd think. So I don't know how this will come across on the video. It's pretty big, and if you imagine a building being on top of it, that's pretty cool. So while not all of these mounds are necessarily burial sites of Native Americans, there's been archaeological evidence here to suggest that there are some burials here. So, before this became a British fort, that's what it was. It was a burial site and a sacred ground for a Native American temple here. It was built sometime between 1200 AD and 1400 AD. And then, like I said, the British would build a fort up here. I'm not entirely sure what it looked like, but we at least have a standing platform today. You know, I have a tough time usually connecting with historical sites in terms of it's hard for me to imagine the history before me. You know, a lot of times you'll just see a ruined site and that's all it is to you. But here, I just can imagine standing up here as a Native American and, like, you know, seeing the surrounding landscape and people gathering here. It's pretty incredible. This is a rare moment where I can imagine myself in that place a little bit. You can see today the grass is well maintained, but I can imagine back in the 12 and 1400s, this area would have been covered with a lot of trees and plant life like the ones you see down here, the sort of vine brush down here. So I'm assuming there were just a few pathways and things like that. And it did mention there may have been sort of village around here. But my point is, we only have a fraction of history of what these locations would have looked like. This site, you might see it as just a hill. But I can imagine steps up to it, a temple here, somewhere placed in the middle. It's crazy. But maybe with these videos, we can reconstruct that old lost history at least a little bit. There's something special about having a location all to yourself. You get to really think clearly, at least for myself. No idea what these bugs are, but they're all over me.
Months later, I would find myself northwest at yet another ancient site.
So I am in Cherokee, North Carolina, staying just here outside the Harris Cherokee Casino Hotel. Basically went on a little excursion yesterday to Judaculla Rock and decided it wasn't the right video. We're gonna retake it today. It's a new year. Yesterday was the 31st of December. Today is the 1st of January, 2023. So we're gonna do it right this time. Pretty much everything that could go wrong went wrong yesterday in the recording process. So we're gonna head out today. We're gonna make it a good day.
Your destination will be on the right.
Okay, so just arrived at Judaculla Rock for the second time. We're taking, well, that's a spider web. Great start. So Judaculla Rock, what is this? It's a massive boulder of soapstone, sort of a sandstone material, soapstone is. Now it was originally carved out around 3,000 years ago as it was quarried to make bowls and I'm sure other objects as well. This was by the Cherokee people, at least their ancestors, that is. So its carvings date to around 1,500 years old. So it's a little while after quarrying the stone. Now you can't go up too close to it. You have to stand on the platform that they have here. So what does Judaculla mean, you might ask? Well, Judaculla was actually a legendary giant of the Cherokee people. He was 7 feet tall, had 7 toes on each foot, and 7 fingers on each hand, it is believed. The legend says, once a party of disrespectful hunters came through his land. Judaculla chased them down the mountain. With a mighty leap, the angry giant landed near Canny Fork on a large boulder. Putting his hand down to steady himself, he left his mark on the rock's surface. The impression of his hand can still be seen at the lower right-hand corner of the rock. It's believed there are other handprints on other stones like this as well, but you can kind of make it out. It's the bottom right-hand corner. Should be right here. Almost looks like a little octopus or something. In the original carvings, you can see here, unfortunately, they've worn down over time and they've even been vandalized over time, unfortunately. People will spray paint these things and it's crazy. I don't know why people destroy history, but unfortunately, that's just how people are. That's the nature of people. They'll never change and, you know, you gotta accept it, I guess, and just try and preserve what you can. Now, this boulder here has around 1,500 petroglyphs, which are carvings. Some people think it's sort of a map of the Cherokee lands. The Cherokee people used to be around here. It's also believed this may have been a boundary stone for the hunting grounds they had here. But of course, as Europeans came in, they got pushed off the land and their new territory, here in North Carolina at least, is in Cherokee, as it's named. It's the Native American reservation where they have the casinos and everything. That's where I've been staying while I've been down here. We're at Judaculla Rock. Judaculla's judgment seat is known as Devil's Courthouse. That was Judaculla's throne, it's believed, where he'd sit atop the mountain and guard the hunting grounds of the Cherokee people. An incredible sight. As I always say, but especially for this one, it's an ancient American site, 3,000 years old. Another site of the Native Americans that is sort of lost to a lot of people. I hope to bring that back to the public's eye with this series, Ancient America.
Going back a little while, the unofficial start to this series was actually much further west, near Las Vegas, Nevada, at the Red Rock Canyon. People absolutely would have been back here. Handprints are on the walls further. So we're in Willow Springs, just outside of the Vegas Strip area. You can see some of the pictographs here, which are going to be hand-painted symbols. So I don't know what this means, but it was painted thousands of years ago. Over here are the petroglyphs. So these are going to be hand-carved symbols. They would use stone tools that are going to be harder than whatever this stone material is made out of. They would carve their religious symbols, whatever else into here. During my time here, I had met a local girl, and she would accompany me on 2 journeys throughout the state, exploring the ghost towns and the lost sites of Nevada.
Man, that's the Bizpa Hotel. I don't like these tornadoes out here. Tornadoes, poorly maintained roads, no gas, no service, no sense of direction, no caffeine. Drivers falling asleep at the wheel. Unbelievable. Should I jump?
I'm thinking I can land it.
Stranded again in the desert.
Why do we end up
Around so much sand
all the time?
Said he gave up. That's apparently this wasn't even really like a town. It was a service station, is what these people were saying, and that the guy who owned it before still owns it now. He has 2 big Rottweilers and a shotgun. He's not afraid to use. Seen it firsthand. Well, that's cool. Actually, all of a sudden, I don't feel like I can do it. Did it. All right, now your turn.
I'm not doing that.
So I guess I just leave you now.
You're gonna live here
Yeah,
forever?
yeah.
Okay, I'll come visit you.
I
I'll bring
like
you
this
water
spot.
and pizza.
Pretty nice.
What a journey it was, but we still had one mission. After having seen the Red Rock Canyon symbols, we were told of this Valley of Fire, a much larger site to the one we had seen. We would finally make our way there.
You're supposed to go the opposite way, yeah? We need to go back to the visitor center.
Don't watch me trip. All right, so this way, this is desert, abandoned, barrenness, right? Death, certain death.
I hope so.
Certain death if we cross it through that way. So let's go through there. No, let's turn around. Back to the car.
He's weak. He's scared.
Weak?
I'm just kidding. Never.
I'm leaving you.
What?
I'm leaving you. You gave me the keys.
Oh, I did. You're right. It's okay. You'll probably trip and I'll catch up.
The Valley of Fire. We were on a mission to find these ancient carvings, but who created them and why? The Southern Paiute legends say they were once carved by supernatural beings whilst living in tandem with humans on the earth. As the world changed and beliefs faded, so too would the signs of the spirits. All that remains now, the symbols, spoken into the rock long ago. There were several cultures that had existed here. The oldest, the Gypsum people, nomadic hunter-gatherers who would die out around AD 200 and be replaced by the basket makers, a people who would develop agriculture and later be known as the Anasazi Pueblo people. Dwelling in pit houses and stone villages, they were reliant on the crops they had sown, and when drought struck, the Anasazi would move far east and south, making way for the more nomadically capable Southern Paiutes, who would remain in this region to this day. And as we followed in their footsteps, we neared the old outlaw hideout, Mouse's Tank Cave.
I'm scared of bandits out here. It's the perfect spot to set up an ambush. Bring your revolver.
Me?
Yeah, I was talking to you.
Oh, no, I did not.
Outlaw land out here. So it's out here somewhere. So this is the last petroglyph section, at least that we know of in this area, at least that I know of anyway. You can tell it was carved on this black outermost rock material here, and it's all been worn off here. There's still actually some more petroglyphs right over here. Yeah, this is a huge rock facing of them. But you can imagine right here and other places there would have been a lot more, and erosion's just worn them away over time, unfortunately. They're even right here. They're just really worn down. It's hard to tell. There's so many of them. They're just worn away. We got some right here. The Lone Rock.
Valley of Fire.
There. So that was the Valley of Fire. We gave up on the Mouse Tank Cave, but I think we saw most of the petroglyphs and pictographs. There will be some more hiding somewhere. That was the Valley of Fire. And see, I never know how to close. I never know how to close. So on that note, close. I might just edit it out and say, on that note.
See you later.
Or do I always just have my catchphrase like, so on that note, I will see you in the next adventure. Just do the typical YouTuber.
I don't want to be typical either. You could just put in bloopers of you trying to close.
And on that note, I'll see you in the next adventure.